Hey y'all, this is Liz, and I thought I would talk to y'all a little bit about the design of your online courses this week. Before I forget, I wanted you to know that I'm using Screencast-O-Matic. You can go there at screencast-o-matic.com. It's free if you record under 15 minutes. I usually talk over that, so I went ahead and paid for it, but it's really not that expensive. Before I continue, I want you to know that regardless of what information I give you in this video, you are in control of your online class. Okay, you can choose to make it any way you want, in any direction you want to go to. Again, it's your class. That being said, as both an online student and an online instructor, I have run into several headaches that I'm going to give you a little information on, maybe give you a little bit of feedback on how to avoid those situations, and hopefully I'll give you information that you can actually use. And at the end of this video, I just want you to know the main purpose of this is to highlight the fact that the easier you make your website for students to navigate, the more successful they are going to be for you. And I know that sounds like I'm asking you to baby your students. I'm not. I'm just pointing out the fact that if you want to get something specific, you need to be specific about what you want. And the clearer you are, the easier it is for them to understand where to go to get the information, how to download the information, what it is that you want, the better they're going to perform for you. And we all know that happy professors tend to grade a little bit better than angry professors. Okay, that being said, I'm going to show you a couple of things that um, we have in the first year composition program. All students at TWU have to go through this, and I'm going to show you some things. We made some changes through one of our evaluations that we do with them, and it didn't go as smoothly this semester, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, if you look, I've got this in the student preview, so we're looking at this exactly as our students would see it. If you go here, you'll see the start of semester evaluation, and this begins right after we finish talking about the syllabus. So when they come in, we'll open this up. There is the stage. So here are the steps that they're going to have to do. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When they get in there's actually going to be 7 steps. And here are the due dates for each class. Okay, the due dates for the online class and the due dates for the evening classes. Okay, you've got the objection, how the evaluation is organized. You've got what we're actually looking for along with our objectives, and we even tell them that they're going to be doing the exact same thing at the end of the semester. Okay, when they click on this, it will take them to start a semester evaluation readings. Yay! All right, they'll click on this and it will give them 2 essays. Come and go back here. Now, if you'll notice, they have each stage split up over here. They also have the page number here. The two are actually linked together. So if I go to stage 1, it will actually say page 2 of 8. Okay, there's going to be 8 pages. These will all correspond with it. Every time we want them to post in the discussion board, we're going to ask them to hit click to launch. Now, before I do that, I actually want to show you. Sorry, guys. I want to show you the discussion board. Okay, now if you'll remember, the start of the semester, they had, uh, 5 tasks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. When we get into the discussion board, there's 1, 2, 3, which means somewhere in here, the rest of their posts are going to have to be posted. Now, this is where I get to do one of my famous disclaimers and say, I did not create this. This is created by our bosses. Okay, so I'm going to show you something in the description. There is none. Okay, you can tell from this that their annotation board is going to go here. You can tell from this that their draft board is going to go here, and review, maybe some kind of review. The only direction it has here is this is going to correspond with stage 4, step 3. Okay, their final draft is going to go here. All right, so that kind of gives us a couple of answers. Now, I also want you to know that every time I'm clicking on this, it opens in the same window, which means they're going to have to go back into Blackboard, open this, and then they're going to have to click on this to get another window open. Okay? It's a little tedious, it's a little annoying. So my first point of attack is when you create something that's going to have multiple pieces, it's very easy for you to click on the little square that says open in a new window. That way they'll have their directions as well as a new window. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and open this just because it's driving me crazy. And again, I just wanted you to be aware. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go here. All right. So when they go into here and they do their annotation chart, they're going to hit click to launch, and it's going to take them to the discussion board that has annotation board. Yay! Your nursing students are going to be the ones that check and double check, triple check, probably quadruple check to make sure that they're in the right discussion board. And if they're not sure, they're probably going to send you 13 different emails until you respond that they're in the right discussion board. To avoid that, I would strongly suggest that you make easy directions so they know they're in the right spot. The other suggestion that I would make is that you link your assignment to the discussion board. Several of you are not doing that, and when Amanda and I are going in there to your sandboxes, we're having to go through every single one to figure out whose it is and what you're doing. And we don't mind. We're actually excited to go through it. However, if we were students and trying to find, I mean, look, and this is a student view. I've taken out about 30 of my discussion boards. If you're a student and you're looking at these and they're all blank on this side, you have no idea where you're going. Okay? So again, the one thing that I love about our start of semester evaluation here is that everything, see if I go to compose a draft, this is where it says, hey, you got to write a draft. And then it says at the back of this one, it says, paste a copy of what you wrote in the draft board. That appears next. So you go to step 2.2, there's your click to launch, and it should go to the draft board. Ta-da! There it is. Okay. When you go to the next one, you've got a self-review. So each of them are going to have to do this checklist along with a plan for revise. So right here, they already have 2 steps. This is where it's going to go. So each student should have 3 posts for her name. Okay. It also is going to say that in the directions. But do you see how this is starting to get a little tangled? Okay, especially if you're grading, what will happen is I'm looking for 3 posts next to each name. If I don't see 3 posts, then my first assumption is somebody did it incorrectly. Okay, so now I have to make the decision, do I take off points because she did not follow directions, or do I go ahead and suck it up and look for the other posts throughout the discussion board? I didn't have very many students, it wasn't a big deal. However, think about if you have 100 students, think about if you have 4 classes, okay? Are you going to do that for all of them? Or is this something that if you just go ahead and click it and say, hey, make sure you hit reply, make sure that your directions are in here as well as in here, okay? Because a reminder is always a good thing. The other thing that I'm noticing is most of our students, even the online kids and adults, while they do have computers, they're not always doing their homework when they have their computers. Sometimes they're doing their homework on the bus. Sometimes they're doing their homework with their phones. So if you make the links easy, if you make your assignments linked into the correct discussion board, if you go ahead and repeat the directions on the discussion board as well as the due dates, they tend to navigate that easier. Okay, and I know this because I receive at least 3 of these at the end of every semester. It's easy for me to access on my phone to see blah, 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 blah. Now, this one was talking about Google Docs, but I get the same response about the discussion boards. I get the same response about any assignments that I'm asking them. As long as the links are there for them to follow, for them to just click, and their instructions are repeated, then I'm getting what I want much easier. Okay. And so, again, I'm not telling you you have to do this. I'm telling you that even though it takes a little bit, I mean, seriously, it's like 30, 45 seconds extra time, it really saves time throughout the semester. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to show you is when you're creating your due dates and your objectives throughout the year, it doesn't matter how you create everything, it matters that you're consistent. So if you'll notice here, all my due dates are in red. Okay, I could have made them blue, I could have made it green, it doesn't matter. What matters is that it's in bold font, it's a different color. So if they look at one of my checklists for one of their weeks, they've got their objectives, and then they've got this is what you're doing. And then if you look, every time that there's something in red, it's the due dates. When they go to the discussion boards to find them, they will have the exact same due dates and the exact same times. Okay, I didn't do this at the beginning, and I had a lot of students that I docked because their assignments were not done in time. And I finally started doing this, and I cannot tell you the difference that it made in getting my assignments in on time. Okay, again, it made me happy, their grades raised, it made them happy, much more pleasant experience. Okay, the other thing that I would suggest to you is to make sure that you're clear on what you're doing. Okay, if we go in here to first year composition, we have 3 different types of genre that we have them write in for this particular class. Okay, if I go into the profile paper, everything in here is going to have to do with the paper. Okay, you've got your assignment. This is a Blackboard meeting that I offered just in case they need help and they don't want to call me and they don't want to email me, but they want immediate feedback. Okay, here's a rubric. This is how I'm going to grade it. And here are examples. And then here are their checklists for their weeks. Okay, if You make it easy, and see, here's where they're going to turn it in on the end. If you make it easy for them to follow, they will follow it better. And I know it is not your responsibility to make anything easy for them. I'm not telling you to make anything easy. I'm telling you to make it easy for them to navigate. And again, I'm not even making this an order. I'm just making this as a suggestion because I'm noticing in your modules that some of you are bunching everything together. And so there's no separation. So when I'm going through your folders, I don't see different folders. I see one folder that has all the assignments. And that's okay as long as, and I don't know if I have anything. Yeah, see, I don't have anything like that. Um, and we decided that it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to go through your stuff because you would feel that I was singling you out and I don't want to. But everything I have here is organized in a way that if you don't know how to do it, here's a link to help you. Okay. And I will be completely honest, I stole every one of these from the pilot program when I took it. Because why reinvent the wheel? Okay. This was the only thing that I went ahead and did my own because I just wanted to. Okay. So they needed this. There's very few of them, especially your non-traditional students. They have a hard time remembering how to do that. Okay. Again, I'm going to suggest that when you're doing your folders, try to keep them separated in a manner that makes sense and can be consistent throughout the entire semester. That way they know where to go. Okay, if you're doing assignments, I suggest that on the when you go in there, make sure there's a title for each assignment. Dates work really well. I noticed when I did weeks, sometimes they didn't understand, like some of them had week 11, week 10, week 12. So I went ahead and put the dates after that too. And then I just quit doing the weeks because I'm like, okay, they're actually just paying more attention to the dates. But I stayed the same throughout, okay? Because you're training them to do your class the way you want to. All right, remember that as well. How do you want them to be trained? The the bottom line is, what do you want them to do and how do you want them to do it? Okay? The most important stuff needs to go on top. It just makes it easier. If they know what they're doing at the beginning, all the information that comes after should be linked into the assignment, okay? So this is how this is going to be graded. This is a way to get you started looking at this. This is a picture and a video of this essay, okay? Here are things that they're going to do to go along with this essay. Here are other things, oh, okay, that they're going to do. That's all going to go into this module. All right, so again, I'm not telling you that you have to do this. I am telling you that it will make it so much easier for you to navigate your grading, as well as fewer emails asking you the same question over and over and over. You know, especially in October when we're all starting to get tired and we're all starting to get stressed because we have our own projects that are due, we have our own things that got to get finished, and we don't want to have to revamp our whole online class because things aren't working. Okay, so I would suggest that you start trying to tailor that now while you've got time. And I would also suggest that you go through here and play with some of this stuff. I mean, you've got Google Docs. Some of you are messing with the wiki blogs. You've got other things that you can mess with too. And I think you should just jack around with it. Okay, go ahead and fail at something. Make a mess. Okay, at the very least, you're going to know if you like it or not. You're also going to know how long it takes to do it, okay, if it's worth the trouble. But I would strongly suggest that you go ahead and spread your wings now while you have time, while you're not really stressed about doing anything, and try to do something different. Try to do something amazing, okay? And have a good week. As always, if you need us, we're around. Just feel free to ask. Okay, and have a good week.